In an age saturated with science, secularism, and skepticism, the rejection of God has become not only common, but culturally celebrated in many circles. Yet beneath the surface of this intellectual stance, could there be something deeper at work? Could atheism, in some cases, be a symptom, not just a conclusion? The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung suggested that the image of God is not merely an external figure to believe in or deny, but an archetype, a living symbol embedded in the deepest layers of the psyche. To reject God, then, may not always be a statement about theology. It might reflect a disconnection from the self, that deeper organizing center of the soul. In Jung's words, the greatest spiritual illnesses he encountered were not solved by logic, but by finding a new religious attitude. Not necessarily in the traditional sense, but a reawakened connection to meaning, purpose, and the sacred within. From the existential side, thinkers like Nietzsche and Camus viewed the death of God not as a triumph, but as a crisis. Nietzsche's words weren't a celebration, they were a warning. Without a transcendent anchor, modern humanity drifts into nihilism. Atheism here becomes a cultural symptom, the soul's disorientation in a world where meaning has been flattened and mystery stripped away. Even Camus, who insisted on living without illusions, struggled with the moral implications of a universe without depth. Sometimes atheism arises from suffering, from trauma, from a heart broken by a world that doesn't seem governed by a loving or just God. In such cases, the rejection is not of divinity itself, but of a particular image of God, often one inherited in childhood, rigid, punitive, or painfully silent in moments of grief. The rejection is an act of protest, a cry of integrity. If God exists, he cannot be as I was taught. Atheism may also be part of spiritual maturation, a shedding of external authorities, inherited beliefs, and religious dogma that no longer nourishes the soul. In this light, it can be a necessary descent into the desert, the dark night where illusions die and something more authentic is born. But if one remains there, clinging to disbelief as another identity, it can harden into a new kind of dogma, no less rigid than what was left behind.
So yes, atheism can be a symptom of pain, of alienation, of a fractured image of God.
But it can also be a stage, a crossing. And beyond it, for some, lies not a return to old beliefs, but an encounter with something deeper. Not the God of childhood doctrine, but the living mystery, the God beyond images, still whispering from the center of the soul. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.